Stop calling it survival when it's actually a revolution. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French, and I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I want to share something with you that shook me to my core. I had the profound honor of sitting down with Laquata Wilson, a woman who is rewriting what it means to survive, to heal, and to build an empire from the ashes of unimaginable trauma. Laquata is not just a survivor of intimate partner violence and gun violence, she is an author, a documentary filmmaker in the making, and a living testament to the truth that trauma does not define us, it refines us. Her book, Surviving Him, centers the voices of survivors in a world that too often silences them. And right now, she's working on Defying All Odds, Life After Trauma, and a documentary that will spotlight life after the shooting. Laquata Wilson is making the world a better place by refusing to let her story end in tragedy. She's turning her pain into power, and today I'm going to share the insights she gave me, insights that will challenge everything you think you know about resilience, community, and what it truly means to rise. Here's the truth that stopped me in my tracks, the truth that I need you to sit with for a moment. We see the headlines, we hear the statistics, intimate partner violence, gun violence. We watch the news coverage, we shake our heads, we say a prayer, and then we move on. But what we don't see, what we don't talk about, what society refuses to spotlight is the silent aftermath, the part where survivors are left to rebuild their lives from the rubble of medical trauma, financial devastation, and emotional scars that run so deep they become part of your identity. In February 2019, in York County, South Carolina, Laquata Wilson was shot by her ex boyfriend in an attack that left six victims: three shot, three beaten with hammers, and one life lost. The headline screamed the horror. The news cameras showed up. The community mourned. But the real story, the one that challenges everything we've been taught about survival, is what happened next. Survivors like Laquata don't just bounce back, they don't just pick up the pieces and move on quietly. They rebuild empires. Supported by her coworkers through a GoFundMe campaign, Laquata turned that pain into Surviving Him, a book that centers her voice on resilience. It's not about victimhood, it's about Black women entrepreneurs rising fiercer, proving that trauma forges unbreakable leaders. And here's what I want you to sit with, really sit with. We've been sold a lie. We've been told that survival is the end goal, that if you make it out alive, you should be grateful, keep your head down, and move on quietly, that you should be thankful you're still breathing and not ask for too much more. But Laquata's story and the stories of so many Black women like her tell us something radically different. Survival is not the destination, it's the launch pad. It's not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your revolution. Let me take you deeper. I want to share three truths that Laquata Wilson taught me. Truths that every Black professional business leader and entrepreneur needs to hear, especially if you've been carrying trauma like a badge of honor instead of a wound that deserves healing. First, resilience is your entrepreneurial superpower. Laquata recovered from life threatening gunshot wounds. She faced financial strain that would have crushed most people, medical bills that piled up like mountains, emotional rebuilds that most people can't even fathom, the kind of trauma that makes you question if you'll ever feel whole again. But instead of letting that trauma bury her, she transformed it into fuel. She's launching Defying All Odds, Life After Trauma, and a documentary on life post shooting. She's not just surviving, she's thriving, she's building, she's creating, she's leading. And here's the kicker, the part that will challenge everything you think you know about entrepreneurship. That same resilience that got her through the hospital, through the nightmares, through the post traumatic stress, through the moments when she wanted to give up, that's the same resilience that's making her a powerhouse entrepreneur. Trauma doesn't disqualify you from success, it equips you for it. If you can survive what tried to kill you, you can build what will sustain you. If you can endure the unendurable, you can create the unimaginable. Second, community support is the ultimate capital. When Laquata was shot, when her world fell apart, when everything she knew was shattered in an instant, it wasn't a bank loan or a venture capitalist that saved her. It wasn't a government program or a corporate sponsor. It was her coworkers. They started a GoFundMe. They rallied around her. They showed up. They bridged the gaps when the systems failed. And that community support became her first investment. It became the foundation she built her empire on. For Black women, for Black leaders, this is critical. We've been taught to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, to be self made, to never ask for help, to be strong all the time. But the truth is, your network is your net worth. Your community is your capital. Build it, nurture it, protect it. Let it hold you when you can't hold yourself. Because when the world tries to break you, your people will be the ones who put you back together. Third, own your narrative unapologetically. Surviving Him spotlights the survivor's voice in intimate partner violence and gun violence stories. Laquata didn't wait for someone else to tell her story. She didn't wait for permission. She didn't wait for the right moment or the right platform. She wrote the book. She's funding the film. She's letting her story disrupt the silence. And in doing so, she's inspiring the next wave of empowered leaders. Your story is your currency. Your testimony is your testimony. Don't let anyone else write it. Don't let anyone else profit from it. Don't let anyone else water it down or sanitize it or make it palatable for people who can't handle your truth. Own it. Share it. Let it be the thing that changes someone else's life. Now, I know some of you are thinking, that's powerful, LeAnne, but is this real? Are there other women who've done this? Let me tell you about three Black women who walked this same path, who turned trauma into triumph, who rebuilt empires from the rubble. First, Dawn Wilson, a Black woman from Rock Hill, South Carolina, right near York County, just miles from where Laquata was shot. In 2018, Dawn survived a domestic shooting by her partner, multiple gunshot wounds, community wide trauma, the kind of violence that makes you question if you'll ever feel safe again, severe physical injuries, post traumatic stress, job loss, financial ruin, and inadequate victim services that left her to fend for herself. But Dawn didn't give up. She didn't let the trauma have the last word. She leveraged community crowdfunding and therapy to launch Phoenix Rising Wellness, a coaching firm for survivors. Today, she's regained her independence, authored a resilience guide, and coached over 500 women. She secured $50,000 in grants and expanded to virtual programs serving women nationwide. Her impact: she reduced survivor isolation in Black communities and influenced South Carolina policy on intimate partner violence funding. Dawn's story mirrors Laquata's: the York County shooting, the GoFundMe support, the entrepreneurial pivot to books and programs. Trauma became her testimony, survival became her business, pain became her platform. Second, Tarana Burke, founder of the Me Too movement, a Black woman survivor of childhood violence and later partner abuse. Tarana built a global platform from personal trauma in the Bronx, New York. She faced emotional silencing, systemic discrimination in the justice system, and resource scarcity for Black survivors, the kind of obstacles that make you want to give up before you even start. But she amplified survivor voices through grassroots organizing, securing funding to scale advocacy into business models. She sparked worldwide reckonings and birthed survivor led enterprises. In 2017, she was named Time Person of the Year. She's raised over $20 million in funding for survivor programs. Her impact: She transformed the intimate partner violence discourse and empowered Black women entrepreneurs in advocacy firms. Tarana's journey parallels Laquata's, centering Black women's voices in violence stories, the resilience to leadership arc, the book, the movement, the refusal to be silenced, the decision to turn pain into power. Third, Gwen Carr, mother of Eric Garner, a Black woman from Staten Island, New York, who survived family intimate partner violence and turned grief into activism after the 2014 tragedy. Gwen faced loss, media trauma, financial hardship, and the intersections of gun violence and intimate partner violence in Black families, the kind of compounded trauma that breaks most people. She founded the Eric Garner Foundation using storytelling and crowdfunding for initiatives against violence. She established scholarships and influenced police reforms. She raised over $1 million and spoke at the United Nations on Black resilience. Her impact, she bolstered Black led nonprofits tackling intimate partner violence and gun violence, inspiring survivor memoirs. Gwen's story mirrors Laquata's trauma to empire build, the foundation, the books, the community support in the aftermath of violence, the GoFundMe style rallying, the refusal to let tragedy have the last word. These women, Dawn, Tarana, Gwen, and Laquata, they didn't just survive, they transformed. They took the worst moments of their lives and turned them into movements, into businesses, into legacies. And here's what I need you to understand, really understand. This is not about being superhuman. This is about being human enough to admit you're hurt and brave enough to heal out loud. Now, let's talk about what this means for you, because this isn't just Laquata's story. This is your story too. Maybe you weren't shot. Maybe your trauma looks different. Maybe it's the job that broke you, the relationship that drained you, the family that demanded too much, the church that silenced you, the world that told you to be strong when all you wanted to do was cry. Maybe your trauma is the years you spent in survival mode, grinding, hustling, leading, holding everyone else up while you crumbled inside. And maybe, just maybe, you're exhausted. You're ready to shift from constantly grinding to finally grounding in joy, in peace, in softness, in self prioritization. This is your soft girl era. This is your sacred pause. This is your permission slip to drop the cape, to release the roles and masks and responsibilities you're no longer willing to carry. This is your invitation to redefine strength, not as the ability to endure everything, but as the wisdom to know when to rest. This is your moment to embrace softness, to protect your peace as a practice, to create space for joy, rest, and boundaries without apology, without explanation. Laquata Wilson taught me that healing in real time is not a luxury, it's a necessity. She's still tending to wounds, she's still building, she's still learning to be soft in a world that taught her survival. And so are you. So am I. We're all unlearning the hustle as identity. We're all learning to say no without guilt. We're all setting boundaries without apology. We're all resting without explanation. We're all embracing healing, wholeness, softness, and emotional honesty. And here's the beautiful part, you don't have to do it alone. Just like Laquata's co-workers rallied around her, just like Dawn found her community, just like Tarana built a movement, just like Gwen turned grief into a foundation, you have a community waiting to hold you. You have a circle ready to invest in you. You have a tribe that will bridge the gaps when the systems fail. But you have to let them in. You have to ask for help. You have to believe that you are worthy of support, of rest, of softness, of joy. So here's my challenge to you. What trauma in your story are you ready to alchemize into your legacy? What pain are you ready to turn into power? What wound are you ready to let heal out loud? I'm not asking you to have it all figured out. I'm asking you to take one step. Journal one resilient step today. Rally your circle, defy all odds, You've survived. Now it's time to build. Now it's time to thrive. Now it's time to revolutionize what survival means. Because the world doesn't need more survivors who stay quiet. The world needs revolutionaries who survived and decided to build empires. The world needs your book, your business, your movement, your voice, your story, your truth. Stop calling it survival when it's actually a revolution. Your trauma was never meant to be your tombstone. It was always meant to be your testimony. Now go write it, go build it, go live it. The world is waiting.